everybody, Pete Guitar Martin here. I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. Show you all the rhythm guitar parts to the song Fade to Black by Metallica. It actually starts, it could be a keyboard, but I believe that it's sustained electric guitar coming in with a volume pedal, and it's just low in the background on that B, okay? And then the acoustic guitar part comes in. And then this part goes to B, and I think it goes to like a B minor and moves around and does chords behind this part. All right, so we're gonna start out with a B5 with a minor 6, the open G. So we're gonna play our first finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret B note, our 3rd finger on the 4th string, 4th fret F sharp, and we're gonna have the open G string ring open, no fingers down. So the pick pattern is down, down, up, up, down, up. Do down, up again on strings 5 and 4, but I gotta put my pinky down first. Down, up. Okay, placement of the 3rd finger is key to being able to place the pinky correctly. So if you're having problems with buzzing or muting of either of these 2 strings, make sure first and foremost your 3rd finger is placed properly. This is a 4-part pattern that's very similar. The picking pattern is identical all the way through. So the next thing we're going to do is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's the first measure. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, only we're going to pick our first finger up and play an open A in addition to an open G. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Put the pinky right back down too. So it's exactly the same except the first finger's up. Then the 3rd rep we do is the same as the first. The 3rd measure is the same as the first with the B5 and the G is a minor 6. Then we're going to go to an A with a C sharp and the bass is the 4th measure. We're going to bar strings 3 and 4 on the 2nd fret, playing the notes A and E, and then we're going to play with our 3rd finger the C sharp on the 5th string, 4th fret, and it's the same pick pattern: down, down, up, down, up. Then pick your 3rd finger up to play an open A, down, up, and it repeats. So it repeats that whole thing 5 times. I'm going to play it one more time, but it repeats it 5 times, and then there's a transitional part that leads into the rhythm guitar that goes behind the verses. At the end of the 5th repetition of that, when it plays this C sharp, E, A, E, then it goes right into this F5 with a major 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that open D is a major 6. We're gonna play 1st finger, 1st fret, 6th string, F. Then we're gonna play 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 5th string, C, and we're gonna let the D string ring open. And so we're gonna pick down, down, up, down again. So it only does it once, but I just demonstrated it twice. From here, we're gonna put the pinky down. We're going to bar the 4th and 5th strings with our 1st finger. So we're playing an E and a B, and then a G sharp with our pinky. Now it's down, down, up, down, instead of down, down, up, up, and we're going to hit the 6th string, see? Instead of the 5th string. So, and then it goes to an E chord, which is one of the reasons we're using this fingering, because we can start lining these fingers up to play that E chord. We can put them in position. I just got to pick my pinky up and then slide into the E chord. And we're going to start on the 5th string, E major, B, B, G. Actually, we're going to go down, down, up, right? E, B, G sharp, down, down, up. And then we're going to start that again. We're going to go another string. So it's down, 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 play the open B, and then put our pinky down on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, which makes it now an E7 chord when we add the D. So that whole little sequence goes like this. We're working with is we start with an A suspended 2nd, which is open 1st 2 strings, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret G string, and the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret D string. That's an A sus chord. Only strum the strings 4, 3, and 2. but we hammer right in. We hammer that first finger on the second string first fret to the B, from the B to C. So it hammers like this. Only we do it in the context of the chord. So we make the A sus and A minor. And then we're going to go up on the third string, down on the fourth string, up on the first string, down on the fourth string. Then we're going to hammer, pick down with a open G, pick our third finger up, and hammer it from G to A. We don't pick the A, and we're going to pick up on the C string. Then we're going to go to the C chord. When we play the strings 5, 4, and 3, the C chord, we're going to strum them. Then we're going to, I got my first finger down on the C note, though, the second string, first fret. And we're going to pick up on the second string, up, down on the fourth, up on the first, down on the fourths. And then we're going to hammer from G to A again with the second finger, open. Only this time we're going to play an open B. I want to bring my fingers that far away so you can see what I'm doing. Then we go to this G chord without the B. We're muting the fifth string, playing that. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a hybrid pinch. It's hybrid because I'm using the plectrum and my fingers. So it's plectrum or picking, finger style picking. That's why it's called hybrid picking. But I'm also calling this a pinch. Whether I'm doing, I could call this a pinch when I'm, but we're gonna use the pick on the sixth string, and we're gonna pick the open G with our second finger. When we get here, we're gonna do that same string pattern. They're up on second, down on fourth, up on first, down on fourth. So pinch. Then we're gonna pick this note with our first finger. That's third string, second fret A, and then open G. Then we're gonna go into like an E minor using the second and third finger I recommend because it sets you up for the A minor chord which comes next. And we're gonna do hybrid picking again, the sixth string open and the third string open with our second finger. Then we pick up on the fourth string, down on the fifth, and then we're gonna play open B string. We're gonna pinch, hybrid pick, second finger and pick. And I'm using first and third fingers here because it sets me up for the A minor. A lot of people would do that or that. Okay, if that's more comfortable, fine. But I'm trying this to set myself up for the A minor. And I mute it. This is just a means of attacking the next note. This gets no time. This is glissando right into the B on the third string and the D on the second string. So it's bop, yup. And then we're starting over again with the A sus2 that hammers into the A minor. So that whole thing again is. Up, down, hammer, pick, pinch, up, down, pin, up, wrong string. There we go. All right, next we're gonna do the chorus, which is on electric guitar, and it's playing the A5, open A, first finger on the fourth string, second fret, and also barring to the third string, second fret. So it's A, E, A, 1, 2, and then it's gonna play a C5, which is first finger, third fret, fifth fret. So A, C, A, D, E, and then it does this. This is open sixth string, first finger, second fret, A string on the, it's playing the B note. And so it does and then it's gonna play the C5, just the C on the third fret, fifth string, second finger, and the G with the fourth string, fourth finger. And then we're gonna play a G with a B in the bass by moving our first finger to the second fret. So it's and a ba ba and a. Now Now, James Hetfield does all down strumming, so you want to really sound like him, you're going to do all down strumming. I'm used to doing this, but he would play it like this. So. Okay, so that's the first half of the chorus. The A5, open, F sharp, G, D. Now that's palm muted, except for I think the D is not. And for N or something like that. I'm not sure what beat we're on, but 1, 2, and now, he's playing the open E for sure on this E5 on the 7th fret, first finger 7th fret. Maybe the B's ringing. I don't think the E's ringing. But anyway, it's C to 2, D. Now this is just D, no open strings here. Open E here, 6th string E. And maybe a little open 2nd string, right? And then again. And then it goes, does it again. Then it plays G, G with a B in the bass, E. Now, remember we did this on the 5th and 4th string? And the well, we're leaving the and off, and we're going one string towards our face, so instead of playing 4th and 5th strings, we're doing the same fingering on 5th and 6th strings. And then it plays this. Now it doesn't let the minor 3rd ring. So you could mute that, or you could do this. You could play a B on the 3rd string, 4th fret if you want. But I think he's just playing the lower 3 notes. But you could play yeah. See. All right, any rate. So it does this twice each chorus. The whole chord pattern. But the last time, instead of doing G, D / F sharp, I hear him doing G5, F sharp 5. Which kind of lets you know that we're really over with the chorus that time. And it goes back into the verse, or it goes into the bridge, which is leading up to the solo section. After the 2nd chorus, it goes into the bridge. So the 2nd chorus would end like this. Okay, so the chorus is played exactly the same way both times. Both times it does a chorus in the song. After the first one, it goes back into the, right, into a verse. But after the 2nd chorus, it goes into this bridge, which has some vocals in it, and then it gets into a solo section. All right. So, but it does 2 reps of the chord progression each chorus. The first chorus ends like this. I think the 2nd chorus ends like this. And then you go straight into the verse. If it's the first chorus, if it's the 2nd chorus, you go straight into the sliding up from the D to the E. So I'm playing. Now here I'm hitting all strings. I'm playing open E. I'm playing the 5 chord here on these 3 strings, and then open B and open E. But I'm not hitting all 6 strings when I hit that D chord, though. I'm sliding from the D5 to the E. I'm just hitting strings 5, 4, and 3. But when I do that up down strum, now I'm strumming all 6 strings. only the open E's not so much. It's mainly these still, but you can hear a little open E and maybe, a little open B and maybe open E. Now, I think the pick hits here on this G, but it slides from that 7th fret E to 10th fret G, then it goes to the 9th fret F sharp, and then it plays the D. So here's how that bridge goes. Now that little down run on odd reps, it ends on the 3rd string, 4th fret B. So it starts here on the 4th string, B, 9th fret, and a 1, then it goes to the 7th fret A, and a 2, then the 5th fret G, and the 3, then the 4th fret F sharp, and then it goes over to the B note. But on even reps, instead of going to the B, it goes back up 1 fret to the G like this. So here we go. And it keeps repeating that, and it starts singing the bridge. Then at one point it does a variation of this rhythm. Instead of sliding from the D to the E, it starts on the E. It's fretting the E5, 5, 4, 3, and it's going 1 E into 2, 1 E into 3, 1 E, 1 E. Oh boy, that's 10th to 7th, 10th to 9th rather, G to F sharp. See? And when we're here, we're only hitting 3 strings. And it's still doing this. It's still alternating between B and G at the end. So, now here I'm palm muting, but I am pressing these strings down over here. They're just muted. And these aren't muted. That's not muted either. The D is not muted. So E, G, F sharp, G. Oh, there's another part in here too on this. There's another part that's playing more of the chords. I think just the last 2 reps. D, E minor, D, E minor, G, F sharp minor, D. It's just a D. It's just playing strings 3, 4, and 2. Then there's the Kirk Hammett part of this double lead. Now, there's actually a guitar starts soloing behind it. So I'm doing the studio version, and they're doing this in harmony, and a lead guitar comes in over top of it. All right, then it goes into this part. I'm going to show you Kirk Hammett's part first, because he does more of the melody, and everything's the same with his part except for the bass note. So he starts with this. On the B, 1st finger, 5th fret, B. Then 3rd finger, 4th fret, F sharp. Now, some people will play this as an open D, but I like to fret it because I think they're doing some vibrato there. Plus, I like the timbre of that fretted note more than the open note. The only note I'm going to play on either of these parts open is this open A, which with this Kirk's part, it's the 2nd to last note. So, then it plays an A. Now, some people play an open A. I'm going to fret the A with my pinky on the 6th string, 5th fret. I can get a little vibrato there, which I think sounds good with the harmony guitars. And I'm just going to play the exact same thing with the other notes. And then we're muting the open A and the F sharp. Those are the only notes that are muted on the studio recording. Then we're going to play a G. Then we go back to the A. And then it starts. So remember, at the end of this, we're going to repeat it. So we're going to be going from F sharp to B on the repeat. So the very last note of the pattern is F sharp. The very first note of each sequence is the B. So here we go with the whole sequence. B, does end on an F sharp. A, F sharp, B. That was Kirk Hammett's part. James Hetfield's, he starts on a D note. Again, some people would play open D, but I think they're doing this. I think the only note they're playing open is the A on both parts. So A was the second to last note on Kirk Hammett's part. It's going to be the very last note on James Hetfield's part. So Hetfield's going to start on a D the last time he plays something different. So D, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A. So there's our open A. And the last two notes are muted again. All right? So he starts on a D, then he starts on an E, D. Some people say it's a C sharp here. I think it's a D here. If it is a C sharp, then we're playing a tritone, a flat 5, because Kirk Hammett is playing the G at this point. I don't hear that. I think it's this. I think it's just a D there, not a C sharp at that point. The last fret's different, C sharp. So, and you can do this different fingering. The fifth string, 4th fret, C sharp. 4th string, 4th fret, F sharp. Then 5th fret, G. Then up to B, then G on, then F sharp, and then E on the 2nd fret, and then back to F. So that last fret is like this. Yeah. Yeah. Now there's all kinds of fingers you can do. You can slide your hand up and down too, whatever works for you. I'm using a fingering where I don't have to slide my hand and I eliminate some string noise, you know. There's all kinds of different ways to play it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Sharing, liking, commenting. Read the comments because I'll put some markers in the comments so you can shortcut to the section that you want to work on at any given moment. Hope you have a great day.